Running, really good for the heart. Run on, not so good for sentences. Find out what I mean right after this. Hey, it's Tuesday. Time for another Prompt My Story video. I'm Marty Chan, a kids author, storyteller, and playwright. If you're new to this channel and wondering what's going on, every Tuesday I put out a story starter to help teachers motivate their students to become writers. Along the way, I also offer up some writing tips to help those students become better writers. For this video, I thought I'd talk a little bit about run-on sentences. Run-on sentences are those really long sentences that go on and on without any kind of punctuation, and as you're reading it, it's almost like you're trying to sprint through something really fast.
And trying to get all this information crammed into one little bit, and then the next thing you know, the audience is really confused about what you're trying to say.
If you have read one of those sentences, you probably scratched your head and tried to figure out what exactly was the writer going for. Or if you are the writer of that sentence, when you try to revise that sentence, you're trying to figure out exactly how it all pieces together. Well, here's a little tip to help you out. Think of a sentence as a tour bus. You know, when you go on vacation with your parents, maybe you go to California, you're someplace brand new, and usually what happens is you hop on a tour bus and the bus takes you to all these different attractions. Now, when the bus stops at an attraction, that's the period in a sentence. They want you to stop and admire that attraction and get a sense of what it is. If the bus driver just barrels down the street and zips past all these attractions, the passengers, the tourists, miss out on all the cool things that they could see. Same thing with a run-on sentence. If you don't take the time to stop and let the reader take in what you just wrote, then it's all going to be a blur. So think about your ideas as different stops along the way to telling your story. Pick the moments where you're going to put a period and stop and let us see the action of what you've just written. Now, sometimes there are maybe two attractions that are really close to each other. Maybe they're right across the street. In that case, you can connect them. You can only stop once, but connect those two attractions with the word and or so that you know that those two attractions are close together. That way you can stop once but show a couple of different things. If you try to cram in like 7 different things in one stop, that's a good sign that you probably need a few stops earlier. So that's my tip on how to deal with a run-on sentence. Now let's get to this week's story starter. Remember, a story prompt is just supposed to spark your imagination. Take a look at this clip and let your imagination run wild. You can write any story you want. Just let this picture prompt be the start of your imagination. All right, here we go. This week's story starter. And there we have it. Hopefully that gives you some great ideas for a story. And as you're writing that story, see if you can spot any run-on sentences, pop a period here and there, and let the reader stop and admire and enjoy your story for what it is. All right, that's it for me for this video. If you haven't already, please do hit the like or subscribe button so I know there are people watching and they want to see more of this. In the meanwhile, enjoy your writing, and we'll see you in the next video.